to turn our souls on. We want to get like high on life. We want to like feel and know that we have worth in the world, that we have a reason to be, that our purpose is now, like we're showing up in our greatest way possible. And if there's more for us to be doing, that we have access to what we need so that we can show up even greater. Like it's there. It just unfolds beautifully and we don't even have to think about it. So that is the ultimate biohack for women, ladies.
You are listening to the ultimate biohack for women, a movement of women who know what they want and go get it. You know the answers lie within. Reach in and grab hold. This is a movement of women who tune in and turn themselves on. Now you're biohacking the woman's way, integrating the art and science of hacking your biology like a woman. Tap your magic, conjure your yes, upgrade, elevate, maximize your potential. I'm Dr. Brandy Victory, and this is a movement that is sure to hack your soul.
Hey, sexy mamas! I'm back on the mic. And today I want to answer a question that I commonly get, especially now that I've changed the name of this podcast. By the way, I'm just so freaking glad and grateful that my artwork is finally up. I was having so much trouble with that. Like I would load it in and it just wouldn't post into iTunes until yesterday or this morning. So it's finally there and I'm so excited to have it up. It feels kind of complete. And this will probably be the first, for sure. This will be the first podcast that will actually have the outro on it as well. So all the parts are coming together. I'm just so thrilled that this is I'm making my steps with it all. So it's very exciting. So thanks for hanging in there with me through this transition and bearing witness to what I've been going through to make this happen. And it's just the beginning, but I can feel the excitement is so good. So anyway, today I want to answer the question, what exactly is the ultimate biohack for women? There's a reason why I changed the name to that, and I want to make sure that people understand what that means and why I was inspired to do that. But first, let's answer the question. Actually, I want to start with a quote. This quote's from Daisaku Ikeda, and he says, "A great human revolution in just a single individual will help achieve a change in the destiny of a nation, and further, will enable a change in the destiny of all humankind." Oh my gosh, that's so good. It's so good, and it just speaks exactly to how I was inspired to bring the to bring this podcast to you, this ultimate biohack for women, because I believe when we really tap into what this really means when we create our own revolution within ourselves, it affects all of mankind and all of everyone everywhere on the planet, because we're making change within ourselves and we are all one. So this expands out. If you make a little change within yourself, you radiate a different frequency, a different vibrancy, a different expansion of yourself that touches people in a new way, and that changes their lives, and then you change their lives and they go on to change other people's lives, and then before you know it, we've got this new vibrational frequency on the planet because you've done your work. You've made a human revolution for yourself. And so that's essentially, from my perspective, what biohacking is about. So biohacking is kind of new. It's a new terminology. It's a very man-driven world right now because it was just created about a year ago, and then a man named Dave Asprey created that word. It's actually in the Webster's Dictionary, which is pretty darn cool. And it's now a thing. And it's a real big thing with men, because men, they just want to, they've got a lot of testosterone, so they want to keep doing what they're doing, right? And so men are big into the world, and there's not too many women big in the biohacking world. I kind of feel like I'm heading this off, but it's important, and it's really, really important. You're going to see why by the end of this show. So biohacking essentially means, we're just going to talk about what biohacking is. Biohacking is basically where you do specific things to enhance your physiology, to enhance your performance, to increase your energy, to run faster, to not age as quickly or turn your aging process around, which they're being able to now scientifically track, because there's our biological age and our physiological age, and you can turn the biological age around, and it takes doing very specific things. You can't just keep doing what you're doing and expect that to happen. So there's things that people are researching and doing and going for to create and facilitate anti-aging, turning the aging process around, achieving certain goals. A lot of people are already doing biohacking things and they don't even know it. Like when you wear a Fitbit and you're recording your physiological data and you're like, okay, well, I'm sleeping this many hours. I don't have a Fitbit. I would never wear technology on my body. That's a biohack in my world. That for me, that's a biohack. But a lot of people do. And I'm gonna actually just tell you, I was working for a doctor who had this test that we do on patients. It's basically it's called a heart sound recorder. It's basically a echocardiogram. And we put electrodes on different parts, different valves in the heart, and we listen to how those valves are working. And depending on how those valves are working, will determine what nutrient deficiencies someone has. So yes, the inner workings of your heart are very much dependent upon nutritional nourishment, certain nutrients, and we can see that on this graph. Well, what we would also see is that when someone had a Fitbit on, and we did their heart graph, it would totally screw it up. And then we would have them take it off and it would come back into balance. Like it was very evident, like this one thing made this huge change on the heart. And, obviously our heart is an important part of our body, not to mention it's when we one of the things we're doing in a biohacking world is we're working to create coherence, which means that everything is working together at the same time. And you can be going through stress or something in your life and still keep coherence in your body and in your heart, and everything communicating all the time. You're not subjective to becoming a victim of your emotional body, and you can perform better. So, Fitbits, obviously, that's why I don't wear them. However, the people that do are actually, and then when they track something and then they do something in their life to improve their numbers, then that would be a biohack. That they're biohacking. So everybody's doing, not everybody, but a lot of people are doing biohacking things. If you change your diet up a little bit so you can burn more fat, or you can sleep better, or you do things to if you're doing sleep hygiene, good sleep hygiene, getting all the light out of your room, shutting down the Wi-Fi at night, doing all this stuff, using a grounding pad. Those are biohacks. And some of those maybe you've thought of, and some of those maybe you don't even know what that is. But we're going to get into all that kind of stuff as we go through this show. So get ready. It's going to be so much fun. I love the fact that we're, as women, able to tap into this stuff, plus tap into what the show is really about. So, other biohacks that people do are in the nutrition world or the supplementation world, maybe they take nootropics. Nootropics are supplements that improve focus and memory and enhance intelligence. Some people even take it as far as using drugs to enhance their physiology. Now, for me, I feel best, and I think most women do, if not all, feel best when we're tuned into nature. When we're following the guidance of nature and the cycles and rhythms of the seasons, then that's a biohack for us. When we get out of touch of that, then we deplete ourselves way beyond a physiological level. And so, for some people, they have to take medication, and this isn't a conversation I'm having with people who have to take medication. This is for people who are taking different kinds of drugs to enhance their physiology. So I don't feel that that is in alignment with nature. That's just my personal opinion, and we could debate it all day long because everything is a part of nature, right? So, but what I do know is that there's a consequence for everything, and so if we're using things that are natural and enhancing ourselves naturally, I feel like we have a better outcome for enhanced well-being, period. So some people, like, one of the drugs that people take is called metformin, and this is usually used for diabetics, but people in the biohacking world may use it to prolong their lifespan. So different than what we're doing here on this show. So it's not necessarily, I really honestly don't care how long I live. I hope I live to a ripe old age over 110 or something, 108, 102. I hope I get way up there. If I don't, it's fine. It's really, how do I feel as I age? Am I able to function? Am I able to have cognitive function? Am I able to recognize people and have intelligent conversations? Am I able to move my body? Am I able to, take care of myself as I age? And so these are really important things. And so I really personally don't want to do anything, although there's lots of research on metformin that say it's, there's not a problem with it. But I just really would rather make choices that align with nature and use that to facilitate my well-being rather than drugs. That's a conversation I'd like to have somebody, maybe even Dave Asprey, because he's like really done a lot of research on it. But there's all kinds of different biohack things that we can do. If you do yoga, your biohack, that's a way to biohack yourself. You're going to feel better. Your energetics are going to be better. Your body's going to move better. You're going to be more flexible. Your mind-body connection is going to be better, right? So biohacking is really based on the concept, what we put in has a huge impact on how we feel, look, and perform. So that's put in as food, that's put in as movement, that's any kind of experience that we put our body through, that's put in through breath work and meditation and, the thoughts that we have and the choices that we make and, all those kinds of things change how we feel, look, and perform. So, if you got, just think about what happens when you put bad gas in your car, right? So for a while, I had a Porsche Boxster. It was the little convertible one. Oh my gosh, what a dream. I was literally living on the coast of California and every day I got to just drive down the coast and watch the beach. And it was with the top back with this little car that hugs the road and it moves, man. Like a Porsche is just, oh, so good. It literally, ladies, I am so into cars that my long-term dream is to be able to buy and sell sports cars because they turn me on so much. I can totally have an orgasm in a sports car. All right, maybe that's too BI, but anyway, I love it, right? And so I had this great car. I took really great care of it, but occasionally I put gas in it that I didn't know what I was putting in there. And I like, this happened once, maybe twice. But I was like, oh my gosh, my car's not running very well. Like, it scared the shit out of me, right? Because this car is a fine-tuned machine, and you can tell the littlest tiny thing, you can tell when it comes out of alignment or out of tune. And then I got to take it back in before something bad happens, right? So, I had that car at the shop, a fair amount, way more than I do my Xterra, because I always had to keep it fine tuned, right? Because otherwise things will break down really quickly. And your body is like that Porsche. Like, you're like that Porsche. Like, you are a fine tuned machine. And of course you can choose to make choices that cause it to be out of alignment or out of tune. And you can make choices to fine tune it and tune it up even tighter than it is now. So, I mean, it's always a systematic process that we go through. If we're in the biohacking world and we're looking to improve our lives and have our bodies and our minds be at peak performance, then this is what we do. We biohack ourselves. We find different things that the general population isn't doing so that we can improve ourselves in small incremental steps at a time, because it's, sometimes we have big, huge steps. I've definitely done things and felt like a huge impact on the way I've changed my workout, or the way I've changed my diet, or the different herbs that I started taking. I can feel, when those big things happen. But the reality is that when we're learning to live in a more peak performance state, then it's a practice. And it doesn't necessarily just happen overnight. I was adjusting this kid. I think he's like his third or fourth degree black belt, and he's pretty young. I would say late teens, early 20s. And he got on my table and he was face down, and I was adjusting him, and then I was like, "All right, flip on over to your back." And he literally like a little pancake, he just like lifts his whole body up off the table, flips over, and puts it back down so fast, like boom. And I saw that, and I was like, oh my gosh, he moved so well. And when I compare how I've been moving to how he's moving, I'm slower than that. And it was a recognition within myself that, I have some work to do. I better pay attention. I just turned 47 years old. I feel freaking fantastic in my body, but I've injured my back, and so I'm dealing with a back injury. So I'm moving quite slow, and being very methodical with my movements, and working to get this better so I can get back into the game the way I like to get back into the game. I personally like to have great movement in my body. And so for me, when I recognized that, I was like, okay, as soon as I get my back healed up here, I am going to start doing more capoeira. Capoeira is an Afro-Brazilian martial arts hidden in dance, and I've played that for a while and gotten out of it because it was hurting my body, which was a biohack, right? So if things are hurting you, you stop doing them. But it doesn't have to mean that you stop moving your body, all right? So I went from capoeira to the gym, which is linear movements with weights, pretty slow, not shifting directions all the time, having proprioception, like good understanding of where your body is at in space as you're moving through space, where other people's bodies are at, how close you can get to people without hitting them, and having a deep soulful connection with them as you're dancing and playing with them. So these are things that are so important in my life. And I know that if I just continue on after my back is hurt and not get myself back into that type of movement practice, then I could easily get caught in this slow getting up like, quote unquote, an old lady. I feel like I'm getting up like an old lady right now. And you can kind of get stuck in those places if you don't make a plan to do something different. And so that would be a biohack for me. So anything that you do, that will improve your physiology, improve your vitality, improve your energy, improve your flexibility and your performance and all that good stuff. There's lots of things that I do. I do chiropractic care. I mean, I get my own chiropractic adjustments. I get my own neuroemotional adjustments. I get my own spiritual work with a spiritual teacher. I dance. I do sensually embodied dance. I do Kundalini yoga. I meditate. I chant. I focus on my nutrition. I take supplements. I take crazy supplements, okay? But that's it. That's my biohack. And, when I was really sick, when I was bipolar and manic depressive and chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, and it was horrible. Like all the stuff, hypothyroid, all the stuff that I was dealing with was a horrible place for me to be. And in that moment, like my greatest dream would just to be able to get out of bed and have a day of energy without any pain in my body. Like that would be success to me. And for me, I didn't know it could even, wasn't sure I could make it there, but I was going to certainly try. But that was like as good as it was going to get. And now my whole life is different. Like I'm way, way past that. Like I feel freaking fantastic in my body. I feel fantastic in my life. I'm totally inspired. I'm on fire. I'm creating things in the world. I'm helping people heal. I'm changing the vibrational frequency of our planet. I love, love, love that I am here. And all that stuff that I do to get myself here are my biohacks. So I'm sure you have a lot of things. Something that is popular right now in the world, in the biohacking world, is light therapy. So there are these Juve lights, and there's Solumas, and there's different kind of light therapy that helps improve the mitochondrial function, the energy powerhouses in your cells, so that you can perform better. So again, light therapy is a biohack. Well, you can just go outside and get some sunshine. It's the best way to do it, but not every day are we able to do that. So some people are using lights, which is great. Right now, we're coming into the fall season. The days are getting shorter here in the mountains, quite a bit shorter, I might say. And so we have a light on our wall above our inversion table. So we can do an inversion and get the light on our forehead and do our light therapy there. And it's really, really helpful for seasonal affective disorder, because it is a real thing. I don't go into bad depression like I've known, and I don't think I'll ever do that again. But boy, I can feel a difference when I haven't been in the sun. Like, it makes a difference, or if I haven't been under my light. So, there's all kinds of things. Sometimes it would be helpful if you turned your Wi-Fi off at night, or drank clean water. Maybe people are into, if you wanted to take the whole clean water thing to the next level, there's all kinds of filters, okay? And there's conversations around which ones are best and that kind of thing. And there are some that rise to the top, I will say. I personally have a clearly filtered, and then I also know that Berkey is really awesome. But if you want to take it to the next level, maybe you're vortexing your water. So, when water comes out of pipes, apparently it changes the energetics of the water. So it comes out of the earth a certain way. It goes through pipes that are squared off, and it changes the energetics of the water. So it's not the same as when it came out of the earth. So we can vortex the water to bring those energetics back into the water. And so, that's taking it to another level. That would be a biohack, right? So there's all these different kinds of things that we can do. And you'll hear the guys talking a lot about these tangible things like supplementation and, things about EMFs and all these kinds of things that I just described to you. And I have also noticed that what's missing is the conversation around our not just our body, but our mind and our spirit, and the connection between the mind, body, spirit, and how that needs to be hacked as well. So in essence, that's why I created this show, The Ultimate Biohack for Women, because I can't speak for a man, but I also know a man can't speak for a woman. So somebody needs to be speaking to this, because it's for us, it's more than just, wearing certain clothes, like wearing the same clothes every day. Like, we could, I don't know, that was one of the hacks that Dave had said for people to do, and he said women could do it too. Sorry, Dave, I'm just how I'm feeling on it. But it's a great hack. The idea of the hack is really good. It's reducing the number of decisions that you have to make every day. Like, this is a good idea, because every decision you make draws energy from the energy bank. So, but there was definitely a time when I was younger and sick and out of touch with myself, where I would go to my closet and I, quote unquote, couldn't figure out what to wear. And I would put 4 or 5 different outfits on and just be frustrated, and then finally put something big and black and baggy on so I didn't have to see myself, or anyone else would have to see me, right? And so this was frustrating, and that surely took a lot of energy out of my energy bank. So, but the idea of wearing the same color of pants and the same color of shirt every single day, that really sucks. That's not a biohack for me at all. And now I realize, like, if I go to my closet, well, it doesn't really happen anymore. But if I did, if let's just say I went to my closet and I couldn't figure out what to wear, that's an indication that I'm out of alignment with myself. There's something within me that is not happy, that is unhappy, that is out of an alignment with myself. I have more to look at than, I'm just trying to make too many decisions. And for women, I believe it's just so vital that we really get in touch with what's deeper for us. You see, because I go to my closet now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to wear pink today. I feel pink. Okay, I'm going to wear pink. Ooh, and this is a beautiful necklace. I'll wear this necklace. Okay, maybe I'll try this one. I love this. All right. And, I just throw my stuff on, and there's no deciding what I need to wear when I'm in a turned on place. which is where I tend to live my life from more and more and more every single day. And when we can, as women, can be turned on in our life, then we don't really have to make decisions. We just be. It's a creative expression of who we be when we put clothes on, or when we put makeup on, or when we do our hair a certain way. Like, it's not a decision. It's oh man, this is an expression of my creative force and who I am as a woman. And this feels so freaking fantastic. And that's what I want for every single woman. I want every single woman to know that they have this potential within them to reach this right now. And it's a choice, and you get to work it, and you get to do some biohacking with me, and we get to like do this together so that you can feel fantastic. You know, there's some people that I have come to my office. I have a couple of different types of people. Some people come to me and they're like, okay, Dr. Brandy, I have an autoimmune disease, I have hypothyroid, or I have a digestive disorder, and I would really love for some help getting well. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. And the other type of person who makes it to my office is the person that's saying, oh my gosh, I've done all these things for myself. I'm point spot on with my diet. I got it all going on, and I want to keep doing better. Like, what can I do to improve my life right now? What can I do to improve my vitality and my longevity so that I'm functional as I age, so that I don't lose my edge so quickly? And so these are the these are the kinds of wonderful things that I get to do every day. And this is biohacking at its best. And we also have to remember that we must tap into our spirit. We must tap into that part of ourself that is bigger than us, so that we remember the truth of who we are as powerful beings on this planet that have so much to offer and so much to share. Like each and every one of us, you, your neighbor, your mom, your brother, even the person you don't like down the street, every single person has the potential within them to be at their brightest, best self. And I absolutely believe that everybody's doing the best they can with what they got. It's just the people that are listening to this podcast and doing things of this nature have more information and can make different choices in the world. And when we know that about ourselves and just realize that people who aren't doing these things, or people who are out of alignment with themselves, they just don't have the right information. So that's why we got to share stuff like this with them. We got to share this with as many people as we can, because people have the ability to wake up. People have the ability to step into their greatest power if that's what they choose to do. And most people will want that. So we just have to keep spreading the light, ladies, spreading the light. So that's essentially the essence of the show. I love the fact that, I'm a scientist at heart, so I love the science of doing my own bioimpedance and watching how my physiology changes over time, or doing my own WAVI brain scan and seeing how my physiology changes over time with the therapies that I'm doing on myself, and all these good things. It's really, really important and fun, and I love it. And I also know that I feel less biohacked, no matter how many of those things that I do in my life. I'm eating right, I'm doing my supplements, I'm exercising, I'm doing all these things. But if I'm not tuned into my higher self, or my spirit, or my guides, or whatever you want to call it, if I'm lacking on my meditation, or my breath work, or my yoga, or my spiritual practice in any way, then it doesn't matter what I do. I can take all the supplements in the world. It's the same thing with my patients. I tell them that, every single one of them. Yeah, I can put you on a supplement protocol, but you're not going to get well really until we get to the deep root cause of why you have this problem. So somebody who comes in with a digestive disorder, yeah, maybe there's some physiological pieces to that, but everything in our physical experience has an energetic blueprint. And so that blueprint determines the experience in the physical world. So we can do supplementation and different modalities to improve physiological function. And we can do different things, healing modalities, energetic work, meditations, different things like that, to improve the spirit, to clear our subconscious, to improve how our mind, body, spirit all work together. Because if you're only addressing one piece of the puzzle, then you're missing out on 2/3 of the puzzle, and you don't even know how to get there. So this podcast is just really about that. It's about helping women like tap into that deeper side of themselves, to know that it essentially is turning your soul on, right? We want to turn our souls on. We want to get like high on life. We want to like feel and know that we have worth in the world, that we have a reason to be, that our purpose is now, like we're showing up in our greatest way possible. And if there's more for us to be doing, that we have access to what we need so that we can show up even greater. Like it's there. It just unfolds beautifully, and we don't even have to think about it. So that is the ultimate biohack for women, ladies. So I am so excited to be sharing this with you. I really, really feel so much great gratitude and gratefulness for your presence with me here. I mean, I know a lot of you have been following me since the beginning, so it'd be interesting to hear your feedback as to what you think about the new shift and where we're going with all of it, and yeah, how it's going for you. All right, ladies. Love you all. Mwah. Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Biohack for Women. If you'd like to dive deeper with our tribe, join us on Facebook or Instagram. And if you'd like to help grow our tribe, share this episode with your friends. Let's bring this light to our community so that other women can know their true power and we can create a tribe together worth being in.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.